Smith back in 2005. And we're excited to be joined by Buccaneers rookie wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. All right, so after just one game in the NFL, you may have heard that there, but you already have a nickname from the legendary Chris Berman. He's calling you Emeka Peekabooka. Do you approve?
Yeah, it's a solid nickname. Oh, there's probably going to be a lot more that surface over my career, so that's a good start, I would say.
He's the king of nicknames, right? Let's talk about that go-ahead touchdown against the Falcons. A couple of your teammates said that you actually called this, asked for the ball in the huddle. Walk us through that moment, what unfolded, and what you saw that made you know you would be able to score a touchdown.
Yeah, we had ran a similar play more than one time throughout the course of that game, and I was open every time I had ran it. So I knew we had the matchup that I wanted, and with Mike underneath, I knew that we had the opportunity to use him as bait for the safety. So we connect on the sideline every time we come back for a drive. So Bake knew that I was going to be open on the route, and I told him that we would have it again. Ended up switching hashes, getting it slightly in a different look, so they couldn't see it coming. And then he delivered a perfect ball. I can't say much more.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, credit to you for seeing that and having the confidence, right, to say it to your team. All right, you were drafted into a very deep Bucs wide receiver room. Of course, Chris Godwin's coming off injury. We know he's back at practice today, which is great. You're expected to step into a big role. You've also got Mike Evans there, a veteran wide receiver. What have you learned from these guys?
Learned a ton from them. I come from a deep wide receiver room, so
Mm.
I'm no stranger to competition, but I'm also recognize the situation that I'm in and the people that I share this locker room with the likes of Mike and Chris. So being able to just learn from them, and it's not even always about what they tell me or what I ask. It's about a lot about what I see, their routine and how they go about their business, and just how they perform on the field. I learn a lot more unspoken than anything.
And it's cool because what they would say about you is that you're already such a pro that no one would believe that you're even a rookie, which is an incredible compliment. So what's it been like with Baker Mayfield as your quarterback? We know he can be fun, intense, funny. He's got some antics. You got any good Baker Mayfield stories for us yet?
Yeah, I mean, he's the definition of energy on and off the field, but it definitely comes in handy when you need a 2-minute drive to go win the game. So he's a leader that everyone can rally behind, and for me, I think that's really important. Just being in my first year and having that kind of steady force to be able to look at, when adversity strikes. You look into Baker's eyes and you kind of get on the same page, and he fires you up in any way. So he's like that on game day. He's like that in practice. He's like that in the meeting room. So he's the same consistent person day in and day out. So I think that we are very lucky and blessed to have him at the helm of our offense.
And speaking of quarterbacks, you're going up against, not directly, but you will be playing against C.J. Stroud, your former college quarterback at Ohio State. What's the conversations like in the lead up, and maybe what information can you share with your defense about C.J. Stroud?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him this week, but we'll definitely be able to uh, share some words after the game, after a Bucks victory. But he's one of the more talented people I've ever played with. Obviously, there's been a plethora of people who have come through Ohio State who have had a lot of success in the league, but CJ is one. He was my quarterback for 2 years, my freshman and my sophomore year. I've had over 1,200 yards with him as quarterback, and
Hmm.
uh, you know, he's the type of guy that you can't let him get going. Once he's feeling it, once he's feeling high, he's going to be super accurate. So I have ultimate trust in our defense that they know what they're up against. This isn't their first time playing them, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I should be ready.
All right. Thanks so much, Emeka Egbuka, joining us here on NFL Live. We appreciate you, and we will see you on Monday Night Football.
Thank you so much. God bless.
And look who's finally joined us on NFL Live, halfway through the show.
I did the swag wave over here.
Yeah.
I'm doing the swag wave.
Yeah, RC.
Thank you, RC. Thank you,
and
man.
Mina,
Thank
RC
you.
and Mina carried the show. I just want you to know. And now that you're finally at LSU, weigh in.
Just blame it on me, Hannah. Blame it on me. I'm not the type to snitch. Just blame it on me.
No. We're just teasing you. I'm confident it was someone else's fault. Absolutely confident. But we do want to get your thoughts on last night, what you saw from the Packers.
Yeah, what I love so much was that they still featured Josh Jacobs, even with the numbers that Jordan Love and these wide receivers were able to put up. And you would think that throughout the course of this game that they found something against the Washington Commanders, and they would have stuck with trying to push the ball downfield. But Josh Jacobs and a heavy dosage of him, I think, helped this entirety of this offense. But it talks about balance. I still like that Matt LaFleur likes to run the football even when having success in the pass game, because if you watch that game, you start to wear on people as it goes along. And Josh Jacobs is that battering ram, that offensive line start leaning. In turn, you get people to start walking up near the line of scrimmage, and then Jordan Love is finding wide receivers wide open. So it was an element. Y'all know I love the run game, and I know Jordan Love put up 290. But I still love the fact that there was 20-plus rushes out of the backfield for Josh Jacobs.
Micah Parsons continues to impact that defense. What do you think about the chance of thank you, Jerry?
Yeah, it makes me god awful sick, Hannah. It really disturbs me that I had to listen to that on Amazon Prime, and my dog Andrew Whitworth sitting next to him, all glistening and gleaming about how happy he is for Micah. I'm happy for Micah too. I'm just not happy for my franchise getting rid of him. But anyway, if I was the Green Bay Packers fans, I would say thank you, Jerry, because he is absolutely wrecking football games. And I know people gonna look at the numbers, and I know they're gonna talk about
so hard to stop, and it's a big part of why Parsons' impact it goes far beyond what you see from him in the box score.
But I love the fact that you mentioned Jeff Hafley first, right? Because that's a big piece of what they're doing. He's continuing to coach. He's not relying on his players to make up for the X's and O's. He's putting his players in position to win. And we thought that this defense would be good coming into the year without Micah Parsons. But what I did love about the way that Brian Kunikis made this deal was he didn't give up a pass rusher to gain one. He didn't say, hey, Lucas Van Ness, we're going to send you over to the Dallas Cowboys. Rashawn Gary, we're going to send you over. And so there are often times where you're seeing pressure on Jaden Daniels and you're looking for number one and you realize that Micah Parsons is on the sideline. And then now the second level, we're seeing Edgerrin Cooper play at an all-pro level, Quay Walker come into his own. And now Keyshawn Nixon and Nate Hobbs and Carrington Valentine, a spot that could have been a negative for the Green Bay Packers, they ain't got to cover long enough so we can figure it out. I love the way that this offense or this defense is working on every single level.
The play of the cornerbacks has been the most shocking thing to me, Ryan, because I thought this front seven was good already. They were good last year, but I thought going into this season that DB group, the corners in particular, were going to be a weakness on this team. I thought players like Hobbs and Nixon might be better suited for playing the slot. Did not look like that last night. I mean, Keyshawn Nixon was unbelievable getting hands on the football. And I think you see, and Ryan, I know you know this very well, is how much a secondary can feed off of knowing that their pass rush is going to apply pressure and get home. They're playing with a level of confidence and coverage that, frankly, I did not see last season. And again, this goes back to Parsons and that force multiplier effect. You truly see it at every level of this defense right now.
And also, too, Michael Parsons wearing his cute little hat and saying that defense wins championships. That's an absolute fact. But what we also have to remember is this team scores well early on in the game. So they've been up in both of these games. They've been able to hunt in both of these games. The simulated pressure, bringing one extra rusher from the second level or winning with four players up front. You get an opportunity to do so much, disguise in so many ways because you're ahead on the scoreboard. And so I get it, Micah. Yeah, Baltimore gave up 41 and they lost and all of those different things. But because your team strikes first with the big play, Jordan Love's pushing the ball down the field, it now works complementary with what you do well on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh my gosh, good organization, good coaching, good quarterback, great trade. Let's go.
Yeah, they're winning. They are winning.
All right, new on NFL Live from our Jets reporter Rich Cimini, Aaron Glenn says he expects Sauce Gardner to play on Sunday when they host the Bills. Listed with an injured groin yesterday, he was limited in practice. Meanwhile, more news coming out of this matchup from our Bills reporter, Lena Getzenberg. Head coach Sean McDermott said that defensive tackle Ed Oliver will be out for Sunday's game against the Jets. That's a left ankle injury. This is Rough. He got stepped on during Wednesday's practice. He had a boot on his foot yesterday. He said they're going to see for Thursday's game against Miami. Obviously, it's a short week. In regards to Oliver, man, how much does this loss affect the matchup, RC?
Well, I think the first thing is whatever shoe stepped on Ed Oliver, that shoe should no longer be allowed in the building, because on Sunday night, Ed Oliver was the best player on this defense, even in opportunities to affect the game, whether it be the pass, tackles for loss, and then obviously the huge forced fumble late in the game. Ed Oliver was the playmaker on the defensive side of the ball. And now you think about what the Jets do well, right? It's run, it's quarterback run, something that we saw on Sunday night versus the Baltimore Ravens that they struggled with. And listen, I'm not saying that Breece Hall and Justin, and help me out here. What's Justin's last name? Justin Fields. There we go. I had a brain fart.
Oh, you mean the quarterback.
I was talking to you.
I thought you
Hannah.
were
I wasn't making up a different Justin.
I thought you were looking
I was talking
for
about
another
Justin
running
Fields.
back.
I had a brain fart.
Justin
But
Fields.
I'm not saying that Justin Fields and Breece Hall are Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, but they're kind of like Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson-ish.
Right.
And so you need a guy like Ed Oliver, who showed how big of a piece he was to this defense, to be out there to make some plays.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Ryan, on this run game, because it was kind of lost in the Bills' win that until the very end of the game, they were getting gashed on the ground, and Oliver was so instrumental at the end in forcing the fumble and getting some tackles. But that Ravens rushing attack off of outside zone last week averaged over 9 yards per carry. And to your point, you know who had a pretty damn good-looking outside zone run game week 1 against Pittsburgh?